There's a lot of really good Fortnite routines, but none of them are specifically made for you, and this can limit your improvement. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through exactly how to build yourself a pro level Fortnite routine step by step. The first part of any routine is a warm-up. Everyone needs a warm-up, and you need to stay consistent doing your warm-up every day. If you don't, you'll become an inconsistent player and you'll never place consistently in tournaments. To make a warm-up effective, you want to try and work on all the mechanics in the game, but specifically the ones you struggle with. But there are two non-negotiables when it comes to a good warm-up. These are aim practice and free building. Aiming is one of the mechanics where if you don't consistently practice it, it will never improve, and if your aim is already good, if you don't consistently practice it, your aim will get worse. And the reason free building is a non-negotiable is because it's by far the best way to practice all your mechanics at once, as in building, editing, and piece control. Especially if you free build on a slow speed to practice your crosshair placement, then a fast speed to practice edit speed and awkward edits, as when you're fast you're a lot more likely to mess up and have to make an edit in an awkward position. Then just free build on a normal speed to get used to normal speed again. But doing this speed free building every day, even if it's just 2 minutes on each speed, will help improve your mechanics. I haven't seen a single person who does speed free building properly and consistently who hasn't improved their mechanics and got dramatically faster edits. So I recommend getting these two non-negotiables out the way. For aim practice, you can do Kovacs aim drills or some of the drills in Raiders Mechanics Training V5 map. You can also include headshot box fights, which is a really good way to improve your shotgun aim and hit more headshots. For free building, as long as you do speed free building, it doesn't matter which map, but I do have a map I built specifically for speed training if you want to use that. After this, you can add something else to help improve a specific area of your mechanics. So if you struggle with piece control, then do some piece control drills from Raiders Mechanics map and the peak training section in the same map. Warming up sets you up to do well for the rest of the day, so please do a warm up and make sure to actually complete the warm up, especially on tournament days. After you warm up, you should add some 1v1s to your routine, because after your warm up you need to get some fighting practice. But there's one massive thing you can do here to make your 1v1s 100 times more effective, and this is to 1v1 a good player. At a minimum, they should be around your skill level, but if you want to challenge yourself, which you should be wanting to do if you want to succeed in this game, then try and find someone better than you. I also want to add that I recommend trying to 1v1 different people, so try not to 1v1 the same person every day. The reason I recommend this is because if you 1v1 different people, you'll go up against lots of different playstyles. Also, if you 1v1 the same person every day, eventually you'll know their exact playstyle, so you'll be able to predict pretty much everything they're gonna do, and this leads to less quality practice. Obviously, 1v1ing a good player every day is gonna be better quality practice than 1v1ing bad players every day, but you get the point, hopefully. Also, some people have asked me whether they should play zone wars or realistics or build fights when doing 1v1s. I personally prefer build fights, but it doesn't matter to be honest. And if you struggle with finding good players, then you should join FN Comp Matchmaker. I'll go over it more in depth later in the video, but basically it's a place where you get a rank based on your skill level, and then you can find other players in your same rank to ask to 1v1 or even to play FNCS with. The link's in the description if you want to join. But after 1v1s, there are some other optimal ways to get more fighting practice in. If you have enough time for a longer routine or just want some more fighting practice, then there's 3 main things I would recommend you play. The first is Cup Endgame. This is a new map which is similar to 32 player zone wars, but I think it's a lot more realistic as you get put in different areas of the map, not just all next to each other like 32 player zone wars. I also think the guns and the map itself is more realistic to in-game. Also, the delay on this map is a lot better than any other map. The next thing you can play is some 2v2s or 3v3s with your trio. This can help improve your chemistry as a trio, and it's also just more good fighting practice. Similar to 1v1s, try and find a duo or trio that's similar to your level. And please don't sit there for 2 hours playing against donkeys that don't know how to build. It's just a waste of time, and you would be so much better off doing something like 1v1s or even the Cup Endgame game I just mentioned. The final thing you can play to get some more fighting practice in is ranked. Either ranked reload or normal battle royale. Reload is easier in my opinion, but you get into a lot more fights. Whereas battle royale is more realistic, the players are usually better, but you get into less fights. So you can just pick whichever one you find the hardest, to be honest. Or you can mix in both and do something like 30 minutes of reload and 60 minutes of normal ranked. Whichever one you do, you need to make sure you're W king, but when you're in a fight, try to make protected peaks. And to make ranked even more effective, when you die, you should go back and look at how you died. Then make a note of this and work on it in your next games or in your warm-up if you die to something mechanical like having bad aim in a box. It takes less than 5 minutes and it will help you improve your fighting a lot. Ideally, you would play some 3v3s or 2v1 clutch realistics with your trio, but any of these options will be fine if you can't play with your trio that day. But the most important thing when you're doing your routine is playing against good players. Either players that are your skill level or even players slightly better than you. And if you struggle with finding players to play with, I have the perfect thing for you. Comp Matchmaker, a Discord that's free to join where you can find similar skilled players to play with, whether it's creative 1v1s or 2v2s, or even finding a trio with to stick with and to improve together. How it works is you join the Discord, verify your Epic account, and it will give you a rank based on your PR. Then you unlock channels where you can find people in the same skill bracket as you. I highly recommend joining Comp Matchmaker if you want to find players to get high quality practice with. The link is in the description. Next up, you want to do some endgame practice. Ideally with your trio, but if not, then you can still play solos. The best endgame practice you can get besides actual tournaments is scrims. But there's a few things you need to make sure you do to make sure the time isn't wasted. The first is to actively look around for surge tags and make sure you pay attention to what spots allow you to get good surge. Then you'll start to get an understanding of which spots are good for surge and just what makes a good surge spot in general. The second thing you need to do is VOD review, which just means to look back at how you died. But don't just watch back the games, actually try to figure out the reason you died. But there is one downside to scrims, and that's that the open servers have zone rules, which means you can't fight until surge pops or until a later zone like 5th zone. This makes these scrims not that realistic and pretty much makes it so you can't mess up your mid game. This is why I highly recommend trying to get into the best scrims with no zone rules. Your goal starting off comp should really just be ranking up into these higher divisions. What I mean by this is in these scrims they have divisions, and the higher the division you're in, the better the players, which means the better the practice. And as you get into the higher divisions, they don't have zone rules, which like I just explained is a very good thing. If you still have time after scrims, you can VOD review with your trio or look at your fighting mistakes or just do some extra fighting practice. And with this information I've shared, if you put some time into thinking about what you actually need to improve on, I promise you can build a routine that actually helps you improve. But if you enjoyed this video, then make sure to like and subscribe and use code Blexiti in the Fortnite item shop if you want to support me further. Make sure to join Comp Matchmaker, the link's in the description. But thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon.